Day 15 of 35 in 35, and tonight's subject is going to be love. Love starts with awareness, not attachment, and I feel like we are really in an era where people don't know how to be by themselves, right? So they're chasing connection, they're chasing validation. Not to diss the apps, but so many people are on the apps, whether it's for like a casual connection or they're searching for something more meaningful, but it all comes back to the same thing. There's an element of self-love missing. That's the problem. What I've noticed is a lot of people don't want to spend enough time with themselves, by themselves, all alone, in isolation, to really dig deep and work out where that pain is coming from, why it is that they can't be by themselves, why it is that they seek validation and need attention from the opposite sex or the same sex, depending on what your preference is. There's a real issue there. There's a real issue there. So speaking from my own personal experience with love, self-love, I have never had an issue with being by myself. I've always been the popular loner. I feel like that's how I want to describe myself. Popular loner. Lots of people know me and love me, and if I wanted to go out or go shopping or whatever, when I was younger, I could ring someone up and there'd be offers. Come out, or let's go shopping, or whatever it is that I wanted to do at the time. However, there was a lack of self-love, especially in my teens, whereby if I had a boyfriend, I would be absolutely broken if something happened, because what I used to do was put all of my everything into that person, and forgetting myself. And the reason that I would have done that back then is because there wasn't any love in my home. So I would attach what I needed onto an external person. But growing, learning the lessons, doing the deep inner work, I don't need to be with anyone. I learnt my lessons quite early on, I'd say, couple toxic relationships, and then, my whole perspective on everything changed. And one thing that I will say is feeling like you need to be in a relationship, or feeling like you're putting everything onto another person because you need external validation. First of all, it's not fair on the other person, because you don't know what it is that they really want from life and from you, right? Whether you're in a relationship or not, you need to do inner work. You need to maybe sort out some therapy or some coaching. Now, I think it's really important when you do come out of relationships to spend a bit of time by yourself, just to realign your life, realign yourself, and just reassess who you really are without a person. And I feel like a lot of people, they miss that, they just jump straight back into something. And again, it goes back to the same thing, validation from someone else and needing to be around something else outside of yourself because you don't know how to be by yourself. That's a huge lack of self-love. It really is, and it goes over people's heads. Real love is not about possession, it's about peace. So when you are in any kind of relationship, whether it's a romantic, a friendship, familyship, however it is, if you are feeling like you're attaching some kind of possession to that relationship, or you feel like there is an imbalance of power, whether it's from your side or their side, whether you're trying to control the dynamic or vice versa, you definitely need to look at that. You need to look at that and just reassess where you place that relationship in your life, because ultimately that's taken away from your self-love, it's taken away from your self-peace, and it just isn't worth it. Your relationships need to be in duality. There needs to be self-respect and love from both sides, and it needs to just feel right, family or not. I will cut people off in an instant if it's not If it's not beneficial or healthy for my life, I'll cut it off. I don't care. Just to make it clear as well. If it's like a family member that, I just accept them for who they are, I will place them accordingly in my life, right? You're not going to have access to me as and when. Protect my peace at all costs. Because I feel like there are some family members that, yes, you can cut off. And then there are some family members that do have, traits that you don't necessarily love, traits that might trigger you. So you just place them accordingly. Those family members don't really mean no harm because they don't know any better, but you need to protect yourself at the same time. So you just place them accordingly and make sure it doesn't affect your life. When you raise your self-worth, the love that you attract also raises too. It raises. You are the vibration that you put out. What you put out is what you're going to attract, whether it's the same wounds, whether it's the same frequency that you're on currently. There's always a reason why you attract people. You cannot ask or expect people to meet you with certain standards that you are not meeting within yourself yet. And that is a mistake that so many people make. They think they're on their high horse, they feel like they're doing everything correct, but they're full of anxiety, full of stress and everything negative because their, let's just use partner for example, isn't maintaining the standard that they feel like they deserve, but they're not maintaining it for themselves. So how the hell do you expect someone else to maintain it? It doesn't make any sense. Love is energy. It is not effort. And when it is done right, from both sides, you do not have to overperform. It will just feel peaceful. You will not feel any kind of jitters in your body. You will not feel any kind of anxiety. You will not feel hot and flustered. You'll just feel peaceful. They actually say when you meet your soulmate or when you're around people that are good for your spirit, you don't get butterflies. You feel a sense of peace. And that's when you know that someone is good for your spirit. So to round up, my conclusion is self-love is the best love. It provides a foundation and a basis for any kind of healthy relationship, whether that's friends, family, romantic, work. You are setting the tone. When you love yourself correctly, you are going to attract someone that also loves themselves properly, and you're going to have like a foundation for like a very, very healthy relationship. That's just it. Now, there is a high chance that you're still going to attract someone or some people that are energy drainers because they see your high vibration and they want to take it or they want to have a piece of it without them doing the inner work. But one thing I need to make very clear, something within them still resonates with your spirit. So you need to look at those people like a mirror and work out what it is. Why is it that you're still attracting these types of people, and then do the work, because you do not want to have those types of people around you. My message is love your damn self properly, take care of yourself, take care of everything that is you, and bless yourself every single day. Do the work, do the inner work, pray for yourself, ground yourself every day, and journal. Get to know yourself, get to love yourself, because I feel like a lot of people don't actually love themselves, not in the correct way anyway. Peace out, guys.